Attention! Go!
And in the town, Leander Club B for the Berkshire Bank against Nottingham County. You can see on the buck station. Keep an eye on Nottingham County. It's a very nervous look over the shoulder from the bow there. Nottingham Rowing Club are aware that the booms are looming, but you have a look at what's going on the other side of the water, and Leander Club B straying into central water. Where are Nottingham going now? They're heading out into the middle of the water as well. It's a ragged old start to this race. Both heading out towards the Berkshire side of the water now. Nottingham County heading out towards the Berkshire side. I think it's all settled down, but that was quite exciting. Let's have a little look at the booms here for Nottingham County, nearest the camera. Oh, yeah, clattered. And they're going to have to regain their composure as quickly as possible. That's horrible to see. Nottingham County on the buck station have a race dismantled early by hitting the booms on the buck station. You could see the steering issues as they were coming off Temple Island. Both boats, in fairness, were wobbling along, meandering along, and just as you thought Nottingham County had ridden out the storm, that boom loomed large into their path. Not nice to see.
You feel for them, don't you? We wouldn't wish that on any crew. It's very interesting with this.
Let's just have another look at what was happening there for Nottingham County on the buck station.
If you graze the booms, you can get away with it and doesn't make much effect, but if you actually hit the uprights properly, then there's no getting away from it. And unfortunately, the three-rower here, her blade hits that upright.
There's a danger that the oar smacks you in the ribs as well.
Yeah, or even breaks, you know. But
yes.
So now they've got a real fight to get back on even terms, and they're doing brilliantly. Notts County trying to get back, but that's some margin they've got to overhaul.
It's pretty much race over, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It takes something extraordinary to get back into the race if that happens earlier. The damage it must do to your confidence and your concentration and your equilibrium so early in the race, because you'd have played it through in your head overnight, wouldn't you? You thought, right, we're going to do this, do that. This is the tactical plan, how it's going to unfold, and then that happens and it's all up in the air.
It is, and such a shame. Because the steering, you rely on so many cues. So we have the orange pointers at the far end of the course, which you can use in the distance. But you rely a lot on your peripheral vision. So when you have the booms on either side, but also the other crew. So if the other crew starts to wander around in their steering, it can affect you too. And you often see if one crew starts to meander, the other one follows suit. And I think that's one of the things we saw there. Both crews meandering around the course. Unfortunately, Notts County hitting those booms.
Donald, Ratton, Edmonds and Batts, you can see in the Leander Club B's boat there in the bow seat. Donald. Moving along, it makes their week a whole lot easier, doesn't it? Not just this race, but then the recovery going into tomorrow gives them a head start. They haven't had to expend as much energy to see off the threat of Nottinghamshire County that they might have expected.
That's a huge bonus for them going into the weekend. It's one of the things often on the umpires' minds is they try and avoid having to re-row races, because if you have to re-row, that has a significant effect. And even the qualifying races on the Saturday before the regatta, crews do their best trying to avoid having to do those if they can, and being pre-qualified, because even that race 4 days before can have an impact at the later stages of the week.
Here's a Nottinghamshire County boat. Jade Smith, you can see in the bow seat there. Jasmine Smith, Chloe Wild, who's had an eventful 2,000 metres, and Anna Shaw as well. First ever Henley Royal Regatta for Anna Shaw in the stroke seat there, and the sunglasses in the boat. Just completed her A-levels. When are A-level results out?
Oh, they're out. Yeah.
I'm out of touch now.
GCSEs was yesterday, wasn't it? Was it A-levels
right.
a week before?
Here at Leander B, heading towards their boathouse. I saw them out earlier. I was out at Leander at 6:30 this morning, and so were they. Looking a little bit nervous, but spending a lot of time washing the boat down and making sure it was all ready to go. They do a lot of that, don't they? Polishing the boat, making sure it's streamlined.
Well, making it as clean as possible. Yeah. If you've got a dirty boat, it does have an impact on all these marginal gains, doesn't it? Making sure everything's perfectly adjusted, ready for the race.
They had the buckets and the towels out and were furiously scrubbing the boats. It's good to see. And just what's Leander here, although they've got a substantial lead, the umpire won't be too pleased to see them heading out into the middle of the water. Jim, as an umpire yourself, you'll know all about this. It's just creating a little bit of a ripple effect, isn't it? So even though they've got a big lead.
Yeah, the rule is, and it's a very fair one, is the fact you're not to interfere with the other crew. So for those of you not aware of rowing, when you take a stroke, your blade leaves a puddle in the water, and that swirling water can impact the other crew. So what you don't want is a crew rowing in front of another one and putting them off. Now, as it is at the moment, they're not interfering the slightest because the margin is considerable.
Yeah, huge lead after the dramatic start to the race, which Nottinghamshire County have never been able to recover from.
It would have been a superhuman effort if they had been able to. I mean, it'd been unheard of. In
or
fact.
something catastrophic in Leander Club B.
Right, you never know.
You don't. We've seen it before, haven't we?
Well, they seem very in control now as they come up towards the finish. Lovely long strokes and joining the applause as they come to the enclosures.
So paddling their way towards the finish line. They can enjoy this with the home crowd all there on the bank, cheering them home. They get lots of support. Leander Club boats onto the water. Over the line they will come, and that could not have been more straightforward for Leander Club B. And they'll be surprised they've kept their cool, haven't they? Because actually we talk a lot about the impact it has mentally on Nottinghamshire County, a happening like that back at Temple Island, but
I think they can empathise, because
yes.
no row would wish that.
Quite distracting, I should think.
It is distracting. And they can probably empathise how that county crew feel right now.
Should be a bit low. So Nottinghamshire County, an eventful race for them, not the race they'd have wanted. They're out. Leander Club B progress through to Saturday.